Morning guys, right, so this first one we've got on here today is a little bastard. It had boost pressure control faults in there, no communication faults in there, had loads of different faults in there. So we dealt with the boost pressure faults. It was the turbo was absolutely knackered. Done a full service on it, put a battery on it, and then there was once it was running, there was this horrible strange noise. That ended up coming from the alternator and the auxiliary belt tensioner, so we'll replace those then, and everything was working absolutely fine for about 45 minutes to an hour. Now when I replaced the fuel filter, the fuel was like an orangey muddy brown colour that came out of the fuel filter, so I'm wondering if the fuel is contaminated, because every now and then, well, literally, you replace a fuel filter and it'll be okay for about an hour, and then it just cuts out and dies. No faults, no nothing, just dies. And then as soon as you give it any gas whatsoever, as soon as you ask it for a little bit more fuel, bang, cuts out again. Son of a bitch. So I'm gonna throw another fuel filter in it, just to basically confirm that my findings are right, and it is the fuel that's contaminated. So if that's the case, and I'll put a fuel filter on it and it runs again okay for another hour before it sucks up a load of fuel and completely clogs up the fuel filter again, then once this one does what I think it's going to and the inevitable happens, then I will have to clean the fuel system out, flush it all through, and hope that it's okay after that. But yeah, so but this is the little car in question. How do I turn this camera around? Not like that. Not like that. Let's go for like that. Not that I can see what the bloody hell I'm doing, which is not ideal. So I have got another new camera, because you're probably wondering why a lot of footage hasn't gone out recently. That's because I have been having camera dramas, and if it weren't camera dramas, it was microphone dramas. So I've just got a new camera, and I've got the DJI Pocket 2 with a microphone as well. So now, fingers crossed, everything's okay, and I can start getting some footage back out for everyone to watch. So yeah, well, now I'm back up and running again. I am obviously getting a little bit I need to get used to this camera, so and I need to work out how to flip it and stuff like that. But for now, that's a wrap, and I'm going to get into this fuel filter. So on to the next one. I've got a little bit ahead of myself, but I just thought I'd run through basically like the fundamentals of doing a timing belt. So right, let's have a quick look. So if I spin the camera around, now this is a little 1.5 DCI, and right, so as you can see here, right, that's a pin that lines up the cam timing. Now there's no mention of having to time up the diesel pump on the repair instructions for this vehicle, but however, I always do a mark on the pulley, so I know that that's gone back in exactly the same place. And same down the bottom. So, oh, hold on, why have we turned back around the other way? Do excuse my voice, I've had this bloody awful virus and it will not piss off at the moment. That's nearly a month now I've had this crap. Right, and as you can tell there, so do a little mark on there, just so I know that it's all in time and it's on a keyway, so it's not a floating, as you can tell there. So you can see that It shows you that that is on a keyway with the crankshaft, so that pulley can't spin unless that keyway comes out. So put all the belt back on. It's got a new water pump in there as well, and yeah, so just get it thrown back together. So there we have it. As you can hear, all running lovely. Customer's happy. It's all bled up. Just make sure, yeah, heaters are warm. So go and give this a quick road test, and the customer can have it back. So another one bites the dust, and then we'll be on to the little Polo. So see what this rough running problem is. Now, my guess, knowing what the VAG stuff is like with the Polos 1.2s, 1.4s, my guess would be probably a coil pack, spark plugs, something like that. Possibly a coolant temperature sensor, but we'll go and have a look in a bit, and yeah, we'll see what's what. So, right, everyone, this little bastard has caused me no end of pain. So it's been a bit of a weird one. It's been with me and this little car. We've gone on a bit of a journey. So it came to me overheating intermittently. So found that the radiator wasn't getting hot all the way across, which is a common thing on these. So we got the radiator replaced, and then found that the cooling fan wasn't operating at high speed. Done a few tests on it. Turns out that the resistor pack on the fan was knackered, so we got a fan put in it as well. Then we found that the thermostat was leaking. So put a thermostat in it. That thermostat was faulty, so I got another one, put that one in there, and surprise surprise, yes, that thermostat was faulty. Then I put another one in there, a different brand, and you'll never guess it, yeah, fuck me, that one was faulty as well. So in the end I thought, right, let's get a genuine one. So I put a genuine one in there, and that's now working okay. So the cooling system is now fully operational. Oh, I've done a water pump on it as well, because it was so it overheated after about 45 minutes of driving, which is a bit weird. I've done a head gasket test on it, I've done cylinder leak down test on it, and it all came back negative, all okay. So there's something on that cooling system that is causing that to overheat. No faults, no nothing. So yeah, it's back to good old-fashioned diagnosis. So I then got everything else working. So the cooling system is fully operational, but it still crept up over 90. Then it came back down and started behaving properly, but I'm not happy with that, because it's still gone over. It shouldn't go over 90. You might just get a little bit over 90, because I don't think the thermostat's open on these until about 103 degrees. These actually run really hot for a Mini. So that then led me to thinking, there is literally one component left on this cooling system, and that is a little electric water pump. And before I got this car, it had a rad weld put in it. So I put a new electronic water pump in it, and that has bled up really well. In fact, the best it's bled up since I got the vehicle. So once I've been and got some fuel in it, I can give it a good road test, and hopefully after about 3 months I've had this car, which is really long. I don't like keeping cars that long. I would love to give it back to the customer. So fingers crossed, by the end of today, I can phone the customer and say, you can have your car back. But we will, I'll give you a little update on that one once I've came to that. So that leads me on to another Mini, almost identical. So done a cylinder head gasket on this one. Now, got it all put back together, absolutely perfect. It had a chain put in it probably about 3 years ago now, the customer said. So got it all running, all timed up. Now, I know my Minis inside out. I know how to time these up. I could do them in my sleep. So running absolutely perfect for about 10 minutes, and all of a sudden, coughing and spluttering. I thought, oh, here we go. Right, let's turn it off and see what's going on. And it led me to say that the camshaft, the inlet camshaft, was stuck, which is this one here. Now, it wasn't stuck at all. So when I first timed this up, let me get the camera in view a bit better. Right, so when I timed this up, this camshaft was absolutely spot on. This one was all the way around here. So there was no way that that was going to time up. But the bolt, everything was all tight on here. So what was actually happening was this whole camshaft I could move independently to that. So this is basically an oil-filled spring-loaded variable valve timing gear. Now, the internals on that have failed, so we are going to get 2 new Vanos hubs put on there, and then fingers crossed it'll be all right. But yeah, so that was full of surprises at the moment. Honestly, I tell you, these Minis, I love them, don't get me wrong, but fucking hell, they test my patience sometimes. And this one is one of them ones that's testing my patience. Seems to be something about Countryman's at the moment, because Countryman and a Countryman over there, and they're both being dickheads. So we'll hopefully have a nice little update for you in a bit, where both of these are okay. Now, I did say earlier about going to a Polo. So I went and knocked on the customer's door, and guess what? They weren't in. So I'll come back to that another day, I guess. So I will get both of these cars running, and we'll give you a little feedback once I know a bit more. For later on, that'll be a surprise. That'll be a surprise for me as well. It'll be a surprise for everyone when that comes back, especially because that's going to be quite a leery old colour. But that is about as much as I'm giving you right now. All in good time. I'm hoping ready for the summer. Going to be up, running, all sorted, and have a nice side exit exhaust on it. I'm trying to gauge whether or not I might be able to get the side exit to come out of the wing there. But if I can't, then I'll just have it running out under the door or something. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's get a few things done. I'll get this head off, and then we'll have another little look at the state of this head once I've got it off. Well, what do we have? Got the head off. Let's have a look what we're faced with. One thing's for sure is he definitely ain't got any coolant in it. So let's have a look at that for a start. Right, so this is so there was literally, let me just get the, so no coolant in there. I know, but I haven't, so I took that off, took the little junction, coolant junction, took that off, and there was no coolant came out of that. As you can tell, look, dry as a bone, all down there. So yeah, whoever, well, the customer owns this vehicle cooked it, poor sod. So yeah, that'll be, so the cylinder head will be sent off to EMS Engineering, who I've been using for many years, but as you can see right across. Let's get the torch out. So straight across there, that's blown across there and across there. So that would be why I had no compression, or very little compression, across all 4 cylinders. The only one that was any good was that middle one just there. So yeah, and then we have a look at the head gasket itself. So as you can tell, so that's blown across there. Again, there's the middle one, that one's alright. And again with this end ring, that's gone as well. So we'll get all that, get this sent away, have that skimmed, get the head gasket put back on there, throw it back together, hopefully by the end of this week if possible. All depends if he can get the turnaround enough on the head. So if he can flip it round fairly quickly, because it only needs a skim, and then hopefully I can get this thrown back together and the customer will have it back for the weekend. That'll be ideal, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's me wrapped up for the day now. I'm gonna tidy up, and I'll see you guys on the next trip that we go on, next little journey. So have a good one, guys. See you in a bit.